Hello. Can you all hear us? Steve Cutler says yes.
Hey guys, so I am really fucking sad right now because I'm on my iPad because my blind accessibility keyboard that is $80 decided to all of a sudden stop fucking working. So I can't get into my computer, and so I'm doing it on this, but more importantly, I have no fucking keyboard that is accessible now. Yay! Thus, the importance of subscribing to a blind girl's Patreon. Please subscribe because now I have to come up with $80 fucking dollars so I can even do my fucking show on something other than this small thing. Joy Marie Man or Savage Joy Marie Man on Patreon, please. I'm very sad. Anyway, so we do have some stories tonight that are super important. And unfortunately, I cannot see anything and I could not hear the intro either. So I'm winging it tonight.
But you can hear me.
I can hear you.
And that's what counts.
Exactly.
And you're surrounded by grass today. You're just surrounded by grass. It's spring, and the grass is out, and we'll go with it.
Yes, that is correct, sir.
Let's get it started. Let's get
it started in here. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Running.
We'll put up Joy's Patreon right here so people can see to support here.
The Boston coming out, Andrew. All that Beantown could have Patreon right there.
Right there.
Tommy. Listen, Tommy. That's my cousin's name, and my family's in Boston, so that's what I always hear. Tommy, Michael, Sean.
Oh, man.
Oh my God, it never gets old.
So, in the spirit of May Day, I thought we could start by talking about a little bit of a victory here that happened. I mean, they haven't voted officially yet, Ben & Jerry's, but it is off to a good start because they actually got Ben & Jerry's to agree with a fair election cycle, unlike something that Starbucks has been doing, which we'll get a little bit to Starbucks in the spirit of May Day as well. But breaking, Ben & Jerry's has agreed to demands from its workers for a fair union election process that paves the way for them to unionize the company's flagship store in Burlington, Vermont. Ben & Jerry's workers who organized at Scoopers United with Workers United National Union announced plans to unionize last week and gave management a deadline of today to sign onto the fair election principles. You can read them here. We're not going to go through all of them.
Did you say Scoopers United?
Yes, I did say that.
Can I please get a t-shirt that says that? Please, because I think of dog pooper scoopers and I love it. Scoopers United, baby. Scoopers United. Anyway.
So they got Ben & Jerry's to sign, and this is in their flagship office in Burlington. They got them to sign this fair election principles. I can share the link in the chat if you want to be able to see all of them. But some of the ones that stand out to me is that Ben & Jerry's agrees not to make any implicit threats, lawful but unethical or explicit threats. Principal disagreements are part of the campaign process, but disparaging remarks about Scoopers United, Workers United, or the labor union are not appropriate and not conducive to a spirit of mutual respect and harmony and should not be made. Additional ad hominem attacks against individuals are unacceptable. One of the ones that I really liked is that they said, if you're going to put up anti-union literature, it's one of these, I believe 12 or 14, there's a second page. You're going to put up anti-union literature. then you got to have you create the same amount of space for pro-union literature, which I think is that's been one of the issues in the past where we've talked about Amazon in the past. They've taken down pro-union literature and have put up anti-union literature with the consultants that they've paid thousands and thousands of dollars to stay at a hotel nearby and completely, fuck it all up. And they're one of the ones also was like, if you're going to have an anti-union meeting, then you also need to allow there to be a pro-union meeting, right? For them to explain the other side. A little bit of a use of almost like the fair news doctrine that we used to have in our news in the 1980s. That's no longer there. But that I think is who knows? I mean, here's the thing, right? In practice, we'll see what happens, but at least this sets the tone, and there's actual documentation that they signed this. So good start in the right direction.
I gotta be honest though, I am surprised.
Of course.
am not shocked. I am surprised because Ben Cohen I've always thought was a pretty cool dude. I mean, he took all Ben and Jerry's out of Israel to stand with Palestine rather. I mean, he's done some really cool shit, and he's supported tons of unions in the past. So this is very surprising to me. I don't like it, and the fact that they aren't unionized is surprising, but also the fact that they would put those things in there like alludes to the fact that there has been anti-union things in there. There has been disparaging comments, and this is very, very, very surprising to me. I've been to the Burlington one, and the interesting thing is when you go down the thread, Bernie Sanders don't get me fucking started, we're divorced, but he's outside with the unionized people trying to unionize, and he's saying they need to do the right thing and stuff. And I'm thinking, for Ben and Jerry, that's got to be awkward as fuck, because they have endorsed him for 40 years. They have literally gone on every campaign back to when he was a fucking mayor and been like across the country for him. And now Bernie's standing outside like, they need to do what's right, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, they could have folded because it was awkward as fuck. I don't know. But in any way, I'm glad that they did not put up a huge fight about it. Because, I mean, the whole world is watching. Like, I'm sick of these people doing one thing and saying another.
Yeah. And to add a little bit of context of what you're saying here, not at all to put Ben and Jerry's off the hook. I think one thing that the More Perfect Union is saying here is that Ben and Jerry's owned by billion-dollar multinational Unilever, who originally didn't respond, right? So part of it could be Ben and Jerry's as well. I think it's
right.
Important.
That's a very fair point.
If you are a business owner, right? I definitely think supporting small business is a good thing. But if you're a business owner, you have your own class interests, right? No matter who you are, right? But I think also that and the fact that it's owned by a billionaire multinational Unilever also adds another layer to that. Here is your ex Bernie giving a little speech here, rallying people.
All right, guys, let's go.
Yeah, and so Bernie, it's a 30-second clip. He talks about economic justice.
My good friend Joe Biden.
Right. Yeah. So, Bernie was out there supporting them. I'll just leave it at that. I think there's a lot we can say about decisions Bernie has made recently. But he's out there. So yeah, that's that.
Which is good. It's his fucking city. He should.
Yeah,
be.
yeah. So, wanted to bring up the fact that.
Well, who's in the comments? You didn't tell me who's here.
All right, sure. We'll take a little comment break. So we've got Kami John. What's up,
Hi,
Kami?
Kami.
We got Fist of Dissent, who was first. Vegan, of course. Good evening. Happy Monday. It's not Sunday morning. Monday evening.
Because May Day needs to start at the beginning of a work week.
I was a little pissed about that. And then Steve Cutler. Hey there, lovely folks. Real progress in action. Oh, never mind. Hey, that was me coming and saying, "Can you hear the sound okay?" But
oh,
I was
I
like,
know
wait,
it's so
me.
weird when I type something and I'm like, that just came up twice. I don't get it.
And then we got Lady Alex.
Hi, Lady Alex.
Aggravated progressive.
Yes, haven't seen you in a minute.
So humorous.
Is that your roommate?
It's a friend in the background.
They're watching the Boston Celtic guys.
Celtics game is on right now, so
the Celtics, Larry Bird.
Guess not up to date on the latest score, but I guess that wasn't good, or maybe it was good. Yeah.
What else we got going on? You said you want to talk about the Star Busies.
Yeah. So
stop going to them, please. Like, stop spending $7 on fucking coffee. And not only are you taking business away from mom and pop shops that may be close, you are also giving into straight up corruption. Exactly. I hear you, man. I fucking hear you.
Where is the foul? All right. So what I want to do is bring up the where is this tweet? I'll find it. But yeah, Joy, got anything you want to say?
Well, one of the things that, and we've stressed this before, but one of the things I want to say about Starbucks is, even the first store that unionized, it's very important to realize that their fight was far from over, and it's still taking place today. Because even though they did win unionization, the fact is you have to keep it going. And they're going to fight even harder once you achieve it than they are trying to stop you from getting it. So you see pretty much all the unionized Starbucks are coming out that they are still protesting because of this shit. So it's a temporary win, but it's not a permanent one by any means.
And I think
some people are saying that unions are being infiltrated.
Yeah, which I have no doubt. I'm sure that's happening.
No doubt.
Wanted to, we'll get to Starbucks in a little bit, but wanted to highlight Richard Medhurst that I think really breaks down well the general history of May Day. Today is International Workers' Day, a holiday celebrating all over the world. The irony is that May Day had its roots in the U.S., yet the U.S. doesn't even celebrate it. The government actually replaced it with Loyalty Day, which observes loyalty to the U.S. They did that, I think, during the second Red Scare, which he goes to talk about. The date of May 1st was chosen because of the Haymarket Massacre of 1886, which took place in Chicago as workers were protesting after their wages were cut. During the second Red Scare after World War II, the U.S. government saw International Workers' Day as some sort of endorsement of communism, despite so many countries, a lot of them U.S. allies, making it a national holiday. Politicians decimated American unions and the labor movement bit by bit, rounding up workers after the Haymarket Affair, neutering unions with that Taft-Hartley Act, which opened the floodgates for the right to work. which has has killed so many union jobs and is part of the reason why the middle class has suffered. Infiltrating groups and the use of the Espionage Act against the worker movement. This image speaks for itself. It's sad to see how America's promising labor movement was crushed. The percentage of union membership today is half of what it was in the 1960s. But if you look a little bit, a little after 2020, there is a slight dip upward. So I guess that just shows a little dim of hope. But I think that's just a really good explanation to exactly kind of what May Day is, and that it is an American holiday, even though it's not celebrated here. Instead, we get Loyalty Day, whatever the fuck that is.
Loyalty to your boss. Like, I love how they have like Bosses Day. Like, we have a calendar in our break room at work, and my boss literally wrote on the fucking calendar Bosses Day. Like, bitch, nobody fucking cares. What the fuck?
Talk about a buzzkill.
Like, I don't care. Put my birthday on it. And I'll be at my job 1 year on Thursday. That 1 year since the first day I worked. And as a disabled person, who just became disabled 3 years ago, this is my first job. So it's not a good job. It's a warehouse job, but I am proud as fuck that I lasted a year. It's not easy. I struggle every fucking day, but I didn't know. My doctor told me, you're probably never going to work again. And I was like, fuck that. So I'm so fucking proud of myself that it's been a year.
Hell yeah. It's been a year. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, Andrew's roommate. Yes.
All right. So this is pretty. I like this video a lot because Starbucks has been terrible with bargaining with the 300, just about 300 stores that have unionized, and as was brought up during the Howard Schultz hearings, right? And so this is what some Starbucks workers decided to do to pay a visit.
We are the partners.
Sorry, let me just give a little bit of context. So Starbucks workers paid a visit to the company's New York office today to deliver their bargaining demands. Starbucks has refused to meet with them at the bargaining table for over a year, breaking labor law. So they had a surprise visit into their New York office.
Yeah, we're Starbucks workers.
Who are we?
We are the partners. We are the workers. We are the partners. We are the workers.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Come on out and say hi. Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Happy May Day.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? Let's go. How y'all doing? What's going on? Come on.
Come on. We just came to talk, guys. We're some partners from New York.
Yeah, so you want to start?
New Jersey. I'm here to just deliver a couple of collective bargains. Hi, are you guys going to bring out like management or somebody higher up? Hi, Roger. Hello? You higher up, Veraga?
Yo, what's up, y'all? Come on, come say hello.
You guys can't act like we're not here.
Yo, we're all workers. We're
We're
co-workers. Where y'all going? Come on, bro. Are you serious? Are you
You're
going?
higher up.
You don't talk. You don't want to talk to us. You only want to talk to Little and Mendelssohn. You don't want to talk to us. Yo, come say hello. What's wrong with y'all?
Come on. Here's my work for this company. You walking away from me. Over the past 16 months, more than 7,500 partners across 300 Starbucks locations nationwide have won union elections with Workers United. Partners have approached this process with the utmost care and respect, and with the hope that Starbucks would do the same.
What's up, y'all?
Starbucks corporate, however, has refused to bargain with union partners in good faith and have refused to hear proposals from partners. Bad faith bargaining charges have been filed against the company for their refusal to negotiate, and the National Labor Relations Board has found merit in these charges while also dismissing bargaining charges Starbucks filed against Workers United. With a genuine desire to bring corporate to the table, we are presenting to you with our union's bargaining vision and ask that you share this document with your higher-ups.
Yes, Celeste?
Woo!
Yeah.
So among many other goals in bargaining, our union is fighting for, one, the right to organize through a fair process without interference, intimidation, or reprisals.
A strong foundation of rights, including just cause and respect for seniority.
Health and safety with a commitment to racial justice, zero tolerance of sexual harassment, and a platform to proactively resolve safety issues.
Base wage for all workers of at least $20 per hour, annual raises of 5% plus a cost of living adjustment, and a bonus of $2,000 for workers on their 10-year anniversary of employment.
Number 5, 100% employer-paid health care for part and full-time employees. Improved access to mental health care and reinstatement of transgender benefits and care.
Hours guaranteed for full-time, part-time, and occasional work classifications. A fair process to obtain schedule based on seniority and without discrimination, and a right to similar schedules weeks after week.
Faster accrual of sick and vacation time, expanded access to medical, parental, and personal leave, and the right to take leave for union work.
Immediate access to new benefits withheld from union stores during organizing campaigns, such as credit card tipping, inclusive apron sizes, expansion of dress codes, and additional training. These proposals are crucial for Starbucks to live up to the values in our mission and make our work one that truly inspires and nurtures the human spirit. We are asking that you deliver these proposals to CEO Narasimhan by the end of the day. We additionally request that you inform us once our bargaining vision has been delivered to these higher-ups.
Yeah!
Who are we? We are partners! Who are we? We are workers! Who are we?
You know, something that makes me so sad every time I see Starbucks workers protest or try to unionize is that they all love their job. They're all dedicated, which is the saddest part because, like, they're not just people who are like, I'll work anywhere. Like, they genuinely love their job. And they would rather just keep turning over to people who are like, I fucking hate this place. I won't even make it a month. Like, and it's monetarily profitable to make these people happy. Like, so not only is it the right thing, but it's actually better for you monetarily as well. And you're still being a dick. I don't fucking get it.
Yeah. I'll read a comment from Humorous and I'll go back to Vegan, a comment that Vegan made on this as well. These kids across the country, they are so fed up with our stupidity, our arguments. They all think we are barely bad role models. They don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. It's funny because, I'll just speak to when the Starbucks in Boston was striking for like 50 plus days. I remember talking to some of the workers there, and there was, a few politicians in the area that came and visited, and dropped by. And I remember a couple of them, I was talking to, they were just like, yeah, they're coming to get their photo op, whatever, and they just kind of, they it's not like they were like, fuck you, get the hell out. They were polite, but I really kind of feel that they were just like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it that you actually care, right? So I do think that really does kind of just show kind of where people are at.
I think it's really important to stop always thinking about something as Democrat and Republican. People tend to focus on that as the overarching thing in pretty much everything, but this is a human rights issue. This is not political. I mean, it's political in the sense that they don't want people to have these rights, but at the core, these are human rights issues. These are not electoral talking points to that respect. These are, regardless, Democrat, Republican, atheist, Christian, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. You're human. You deserve fair pay. You deserve respect. You deserve to have a full-time job. Like, this is not about electoralism. This is about human rights and the right and thriving, not just existing, but thriving. Mm-hmm. And we need to like stop focusing on, you know, the party. It's applicable when it comes to certain things, but when it comes to this, it's not. This is about class war. This is about billionaires thinking that they can overpower we the people. That's what this is about. This isn't Democrat, Republican. Yeah. No politicians elected right now give a fuck. So it doesn't matter what party. I don't give a fuck. Nobody's coming out fighting for these people. And if they do, they're not backing it up. So let's get over the, you know, the party issues when it comes to certain things like this and just recognize that this is about humanity. These people deserve respect and they deserve what is due to them.
Yeah. And one thing I also wanted to just point out that I think stuck out is one of the things they're fighting for is their health care. They want Starbucks to cover 100% of their health care. And they also want to cover gender affirming care as well. Right. And so I just want to, because I think one of the things that I hear a lot is people try and say when it comes to, you know, trans issues being bougie issues, right? These are working class issues as well. So I just want to nip that in the butt. And so part of actually standing in solidarity with trans human beings is standing in solidarity with workers who need that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every issue is a worker issue. Every issue. Every issue is a healthcare issue. Every issue is a human rights issues. These are all intrinsic and related to each other. Right. All of them.
Absolutely. So, the next thing we were going to talk about was John Legend. Walking
who past. Is not a legend. He's a legendary twat waffle. He's the epitome of someone who may have a good voice, but is a total douche canoe, privileged asshole. And we've all known, anyone who supported Bernie in the past knows Chrissy Teigen is a nasty, freaking insipid, bougie, privileged, awful person. So it's not shocking that, you know, their vote blue no matter who bullshits all over the place all the time. So yeah, this video, no, disgusting.
Yeah. Did John Legend support Bernie? Or was
no,
okay,
God, no. Oh my God. They were Hillary and Biden all the fucking way. No, Chrissy Teigen not only said really disgusting, hateful, even anti-Semitic type tweets about him. She's just repulsive.
Got it. Yeah. All right, here we go.
This is a climate protest.
They're like walking past like it's a red carpet.
She has peasants carrying her fucking dress.
Yeah.
So this is
Right.
this comes last night at the presidential correspondence dinner they do every year, and she had literally people carrying her dress. That is so fucking egregious. Just like AOC did. But it's not only just that you're walking by people who are pleading with you to use your platform. Their parents. This is the thing that always blows my mind. You are leaving an even worse planet for your kids and for their kids. So I know you think you're untouchable because you're like rich and privileged and shit, but that's not okay. And to just smile as you walk by, fucking disgusting. But then I was thinking, if they did stop and say, we're with you, we stand with you, and then went into that Biden fundraiser, then I'd really fucking go off. So at least they're being genuine in that respect, I say. So I guess thanks for that. Thanks for showing how insipid and privileged and disgusting you are.
Absolutely. Yeah. Don't really have too much to add to that. I mean, I think I even mentioned just during the clip, they're just walking like it's the red carpet.
Yeah.
They're just like up, doing their little intro and yeah.
This dress better not have a speck of dirt.
Right. So I think this is a good time now to honor a civil rights icon, civil rights hero who and very good singer who recently passed away. Harold George Belafonte Jr., 1929. What lived quite a life.
Such a beautiful, amazing person.
Yeah. So just a quick summary of who he was: Jamaican American musician, actor, and human rights activist. Joined the civil rights movement in the 50s. He became one of MLK's closest confidants. Over the years, he organized demonstrations, raised money, and contributed his personal funds to keep movement activities going. Belafonte has advocated for a range of other humanitarian causes. In 1985, he helped to orchestrate the recording of the Grammy Award-winning song "We Are the World," a multi-artist effort to raise funds for Africa. In 1987, he received an appointment to UNICEF. So it goes on and on. But I thought this would be a great transition to an icon here who really did give a shit about human rights, civil rights. I'd like to think he wouldn't be somebody who would just ignore climate protesters.
Well, I mean, I don't think he would. I have seen him speak because he endorsed Bernie both times. So he was a civil rights hero, and he did care about the issues. Unfortunately, Bernie, but he stood by the candidate who was talking about climate change and stuff. But his history was so rich of just revolutionaries and so much incredible work, and what just a beautiful man.
Yeah, I agree.
And he was still going.
And I want to show. So there is a clip on. There's a much shorter clip on Twitter that shows Harry Belafonte. It was in 2006. speaking to a bunch of people. He was with Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. And he basically says right in front of them, where he questions whether or not there is anything worth salvaging in the Democratic Party, right? And you can see the look of Hillary Clinton's face when he says that. And in many ways, I mean, I think that's a great clip. I think it also, though, doesn't do justice a lot of the other things he says. So I want to show, I'm going to show like a few minutes of this clip of him talking. And I just, so many of the stuff that he said really resonates today. I mean, it was 2006, so it wasn't that long ago, but we'll just give it a listen and we'll talk a little bit about it.
And struggle. And it's
sorry, it's a little grainy.
There is no one who has traveled as far in terms of the States, but throughout the continent of Africa, Asia, Europe. You should know that we not only appreciate it, but we respect what you do and what you stand for, unbought, unbossed, and unbowed. That is unique in America today. Thank you. Mr. Belafonte, having traveled, you've been down to Louisiana, we've seen you, having addressed some of these issues. What do you want to appeal to this audience to do, and to America watching this? What do we need to do to make sure that the issues that we have witnessed over the last month are not allowed to disappear? What's our charge from you?
You know, the last thing Dr. King said to me before he was murdered was in my home when we were sitting planning strategy for the Poor People's Campaign, which was on the horizon of the politics of the day. That's why he went to Memphis. And in the course of that meeting, he seemed distracted and a little under-focused. And when we asked him what was the matter, Martin said, you know, I've been thinking long and hard about our struggle. We worked tenaciously for our rights. And the culmination of all that effort will be reflected in what we've come to call the integration movement. And I sit here deeply concerned that I suspect we're leading our nation on an integration trip that has us integrating into a burning house. I don't think we quite understood how pathetic that remark was. After all, we're in the midst of a very heady moment in our struggle. We were winning on a lot of frontiers. Bull Connor had been confronted. The bus boycotts had worked. Votes were coming. Even Lyndon Baines Johnson had been struck by the spirit and got up and talked about we shall overcome in the Congress. And for Dr. King to have been in this place at a time when we seemed to be making great headway was a moment to pause and reflect. That reflection has taken longer than I had suspected it would, but it has certainly come to reveal itself fully when we look at the condition in which we find not only our world, but in particular, our nation. The wreckage that's taking place down in the Gulf region, the southwest part of the United States, is not the only wreckage that exists. We have a lot of wreckages around this country. And perhaps the most distracting and perhaps the most important wreckage to take a look at is really the wreckage of the Democratic Party.
Yes! Yeah.
There it is.
Get him to the stage. I've been a Democrat all my life. I have no treaty with the Republicans, nor do I really seek one. But the Democratic Party was not always our friend. As a matter of fact, a lot of what we had to struggle against was in the possession and the power of Democrats who came from the South. And when we showed them the tenaciousness and the conviction and the sense of great purpose that the people of this nation had into transforming our condition, all those Democrats from the South ran off and became Republicans as an act of punishment for what we were trying to achieve as a people. And that punishment continues to play itself out. Eleanor Roosevelt was a close friend. And once sitting in Hyde Park with her, she told a story about a great black leader by the name of A. Philip Randolph. He was one of the great giants of the century, certainly one of the great thinkers. And she recalled an evening when A. Philip Randolph had been invited to a dinner at the White House. And just he and her and the president, Franklin Roosevelt. And during the course of the dinner, President Randolph to speak his thoughts. And for a long time, A. Philip Randolph held forth on every list of grievances he could think of, for the people of the labor movement, for the people who were poor, for black people, and Roosevelt permitted him to hold forth without any interruption until he concluded. At the end of it, Roosevelt reached for a box of cigars, passed one around to Philip, and as he slowly lit the cigar, he turned to Philip Randolph and he said, "Philip, let me tell you, I've heard everything you've said. I've missed absolutely nothing. And there's nothing that you've said that I disagree with. And I do, in fact, have the platform to be able to make the transformation work that you're looking for, and I guess we're all looking for. I have just one request of you, and it is for you to go out and make me do it."
I think that's a great way to end that. Yeah.
Bumps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I think, I mean, you know, obviously loves the history, the historical context he gives, right? Loves that he says, hey, I know the Republicans suck, but we got to talk about what the Democrats are doing as well. They're causing all this stuff.
And there were a few claps, which was really brave.
Oh, yeah. And I think it's what stood out to me was the ending where FDR said, "You got to make me do this," right? Because I think that really just every once in a while, politicians, yo, what's up? Sorry, can't right now. So anyway.
That was so rad to see Obama and Hillary's face. So they like asked him to be a guest somewhere, and then they were like, and then he did that.
What?
They asked him to be a speaker somewhere, and then he did that.
Yes, absolutely.
That is fucking revolutionary.
Yeah.
That is like, give him his crown. That's fucking amazing. Like in front of like those two people of all two people.
Yeah.
I need to crop that and make like a TikTok of just that section where they're like so good.
So yeah. No, and I think the ending, what I was trying to say before I got interrupted by a dear friend who's having a good time.
We're having a good time too.
Oh, absolutely. I'm a little more sober. Anyway.
I'm not.
You know, I was going to say politicians every once in a while accidentally they tell the truth. They reveal the truth every once in a while. And I think it just goes to
inadvertently.
It's like you elect somebody, you got to continue holding them accountable. You got to continue pushing them. You got to continue doing, making it so that they have to do what they want to do, right? And I think it goes back to Lyndon B. Johnson, right? When he was in Congress, he was one of the most anti-civil rights congressmen. He had an anti-civil rights voting record, right? He switched over because he knew that's where the pressure was, right? And so that's just something I think always to think about. Yeah. So. Oh, thank you, Humorous. Saying every time I come here and watch you two, I have a good time. I would actually call it. It's worth it to me to
Thank
show
you
up.
so much.
Thank you very much for that. Yes. Yes.
Can we screenshot that and that'll be our promo for next week? Andrew and Joy are always a good time.
Right. All right. So, the NAACP showing up to a board meeting.
Now, where is this located?
This was located. I'll get that information.
Because I watched it, but I couldn't find out where the balls it was.
Right. That was a good question that I should know the answer to. All right. 1 second. Actually, let's.
By the way, it says like their name is like Liberty something. I'm thinking it could be Liberty, Texas.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was like their cute little nickname or if that was like where it was.
Yeah. So, Moms of Liberty on School Board tried to explain to the NAACP why she disagreed with diversity, equity, and inclusion. This is where I bring awareness. All right. So, I'm going to play this, and then in the meantime, I'm going to try and find out where specifically this was.
Do you have an understanding of what the DEI platform is or program is in this school district?
Well, in general, yes, I do.
And so what is it? What is it in your mind?
So let me just say that I do. Yes, I am where you are coming from, that you want to see all children, treated equally. I do too. I don't care who comes into my classroom. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what their sexual orientation is.
But Ms. Wood, I just want to know, tell me what the DEI platform, tell me what the DEI program is that you have a problem with. I want you to describe what's happening now that you have an issue with. And then be quick because we have to move on to Ms. Van Wy and then we need to carry on with the questions. I don't want to make it a long thing, but I just think it's important. And this is not a gotcha. And I know we're tempted to clap and laugh. It's really not about that. This really is about being transparent, and it really is about the kids. So would you please just explain, as far as you understand it, what is the DE&I platform and program here at East Stroudsburg Area School District? And if you're not sure, it's okay to say you're not sure.
I'm not 100% sure what it is here at East Stroudsburg.
What is your idea in general then? If you don't have specific knowledge of this particular school district, what is it in your mind that the DEI platform does? And if you're not sure, that's okay too.
So East Stroudsburg's Pennsylvania.
Yes, it's not too far from me.
I'm just very fearful that there are going to be children that are made to feel bad of who they are because they're not part of what other children are.
What is that? I mean, I got the feel for part, and I understand as a parent you have concerns and worries. But speak, I just want, like, what are you fearful of when you say that kids are going to feel bad? Feel bad about what?
So I think that they're going to be made to feel bad if they are not a person of color.
What would, no, guys, no, please, this is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. And I appreciate the fact that you're even courageous enough to be honest, because many people
First,
lie.
I will tell you this. It was strongly recommended to me that I do not attend tonight. And I did not agree with that. I wanted to be here. I want to have an open dialogue.
And that's exactly what we're doing.
I want to learn.
Yes, and I appreciate it. And there would be no reason for you to, I mean, I understand why people say, don't go. Yeah, because we're gonna hold folks accountable. We are gonna ask questions that deserve answers. And we're trying our best in this community to stop the days where people can just put their name on a ballot and not have to answer any questions, and they get elected and they don't have to hold themselves accountable. They don't have to demonstrate what they've done for the community. They just ride by on personality. We have to stop that because our community is suffering. As you said, the teaching standards, right, need help. There are certain things in this community that need help. And so we are getting the best and the brightest to bring it to those things. I'm you now, I'm not, because I don't want this to become a thing between you and I. I very much appreciate you having the dialogue, because how else do we grow as people? How else do we get to the bottom of whatever this is if we're not talking, right? So I'm not judging you in any way. I just wanted to be clear, and I appreciate the clarity. The only thing that I will say to you is, in my mind, as a parent of a person of color, my son is in the school district, for the eternity. Since this country was founded, he has been taught, my ancestors have been taught, nothing that they can identify with. No contributions that they've made to this nation that they clearly have made, right? And there are a rarity of teachers and instructors and counselors that look like them. To let them know, that's possible, you can do that. You can reach those heights. You're not limited to just doing, anything but. So it concerns me, and I feel horrible that you would ever feel that by someone feeling better about themselves or having their story be told, which is extremely important, just like you have pride that your ancestor's story is told. We want the same thing. That's equity. That's inclusion. So no matter how harmful a story may be, no matter how vicious or how violent it may be, we embrace the Holocaust without an issue. We embrace World War I, World War II, all of these horrible things that occurred, lives lost, all of these things. But we tell it because we talk about the resolve of this nation. And we talk about it, right. And so what we're saying is, our people have contributions as well. And we want our kids to be taught so that they feel good about themselves. So with that, I will move on. And again, I appreciate it. Ms. Van Wyne, I'll give you an opportunity to speak to yours, and then we'll move on.
Get her a crown, please. Holy shit. Oh my God. First of all, how did she keep her composure so freaking professionally and eloquently? Oh my God. But she made some great points. I have like goosebumps so high right now. She made some great points. How else do we learn unless we have those discussions? And it is important that that woman did speak up. Granted, she was up against the wall, but she said what needed to be said, because there's other people in that room who have her exact mindset. And that woman asked the exact correct question. What does it stand for? And what is it about it that you disagree with? And she said, well, no. What does it say? Because these people, they don't even understand what they're against. Every single thing that has to do with a Black person is CRT. Every single thing. Everything is CRT.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a right-wing talking point that, even
Yes.
Democrats say, and they don't realize it's just pure racism. Well, same with these things. It's actually about embracing differences, not it's about equality and equity, not superiority. They are the ones exemplifying superiority.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think she had so much patience talking to that woman, and I think it really just shows where when you get beyond the talking points, they really don't know what they're saying.
They don't.
Oh, they do know what they're saying, and I think particularly that woman, she is fundamentally racist, right? And she is fundamentally sees anything that recognizes anything in education when it comes to highlighting any achievements that Black people make, that brown people make throughout history, right? That's seen as quote unquote woke. When really it's like even though like 90% of the history that's taught in schools is about white people, right? They want to keep it that way and not talk about how there is so much history in this country that has been completely covered up by design. And to get to one question, so 86 Blackberry White says, isn't Moms for Liberty Coke funded? I actually was looking a little bit of that up. And yeah, I believe that they are Coke funded.
She just lost her paycheck.
Yeah, so Moms for Liberty. So this is on, I'm just reading like a little snippet from Media Matters. Moms for Liberty also appears to be affiliated with, or at least a frequent promoter of the Heritage Foundation, which is funded by the Koch brothers. So if it's not
right, which Elizabeth Warren was a huge fan of and spoke at many times. But anyway.
Yeah. So, and I want to just address this comment right here. A similar argument was made to get Obama hired, as the comments about the lack of visible staff the parent is pointing to in that video. There's a lot I could say to this. One thing I think that is very noticeable that I see a lot in these spaces is when we talk about working rights, there's no real pushback on exactly what they're saying, right? But whenever we talk about anything regarding race, a comment like this comes up.
I gotta be honest, I really don't understand what they're asking.
So I think, and maybe this is a good time to say a little bit about what it is you're asking, but are you trying to say that if someone talks about how there is the fact that there are less, there's underrepresentation of teachers of color, right? Or, and that there's a lot of white staff that, pointing that out is not legitimate? Like I'm just trying to.
So it's maybe like affirmative action they're alluding to.
That's what I'm wondering, because I think we need to talk.
But we need to understand that if that's the case, affirmative action was put into place because of the fact that people of color were not getting jobs that they were qualified for. That's why it started, not to, well, let's make sure we give at least 3 Black people a job. And that's not why it was started. It was started because people with serious credentials were being overlooked for people who did not have half of those credentials. So it was put in place as a protection.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, yeah. But I think, I don't really have anything else to say about that other than I think this gets in. There's a lot to talk about Obama, but I don't think equating Obama to teachers with credentials getting hired that look like students that they teach. I don't see the analogy there.
Yeah, like in one case, like people in our country like pick that person. It wasn't a school board or like a boss.
Right. So, okay. Anyway, So I guess we'll go to New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
So this was very exciting. I like this. I like it a lot because Biden, doesn't have the balls to debate Marianne or RFK Jr., of course, because he knows if he does, he's just going to look like more of a fool than he is. And he's been doing nothing for 2.5 years. So he's trying to obfuscate accountability. Also, trying to obfuscate the fact that it will be continuous memes of all of his flubs. So this is a bit of a interesting poetic justice. Andrew?
Yes. So New Hampshire's largest union announced Tuesday it is not endorsing Biden, saying New Hampshire voters deserve a competitive Democratic primary.
Yeah. I'm sorry, any union who would endorse Biden can fuck right off. Seriously, can fuck right off. Like, all the way off. But scroll down and look at the title of the article. It had me rolling.
Why Biden may have to forfeit the first contest in his re-election bid to Marianne Williamson.
Or RFK Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, because go in it and read the first paragraph or two. This is very interesting because this is New Hampshire's biggest union, and historically, New Hampshire has been pretty spot on with who would make it to the end. Not necessarily win, but who would make it to the end. So this is interesting because we're going to see him lose a lot of votes for that. Yes. Fuck Biden. Fuck Biden. Go fuck yourself, Biden. Go fuck yourself, Biden. Corn Pop was a bad dude. Bad dude.
Anything to pressure the DNC to, hold, at the very least, debates.
Oh my God, it's so pathetic. I was like, I'll fucking have Marianne and RFK Jr. on my fucking show and take questions from the audience. I don't fucking care. I'm so sick. Like, I've voted green many times and things like that. And I am so sick of them not being able to have debates with the people they're running against. It's fucking bullshit. Like, and especially when they're televised, like for actual president of the United States of America, there are so many millions of people who are not online. So we say people always vote Democrat, people always vote for who they know and stuff. Well, they're not given a chance to meet. They don't fuck, yeah, maybe they know who they are, but maybe give them a chance to know what Marianne and RFK Jr. actually stand for, how they respond to questions. Like, this is called democracy.
I've said this before, and this is separating what I think of either of the candidates. The fact that RFK just announced and he's at 19%, Marianne Williamson's at like 9 or 10%. And there hasn't been any debates. There really hasn't been hardly any mainstream exposure. Just shows how people are, a lot of people are just sort of like, we need something else than what we have now. That is not Trump either, right? Like, or just
well, I mean, you want to run Biden? Hello, President DeSantis. That's all I have to say, because you are going to make us pay for your fucking karma by pushing this dude again.
Although, we'll see. DeSantis, he has, yes, Trump is also thin-skinned, but DeSantis, has no charisma at all. He just, so we'll see. I don't, if he runs, I don't know how.
Has DeSantis actually announced? I have not seen anything as of yet. So at this point, we have Joe Tiger, what's Tiger? Joe Tiger. Joe Tiger Man.
Okay.
I forget his fucking name. I almost said Joe Dirt. The Tiger guy, we have Nikki Haley, we have Trump, we have RFK Jr., we have Marianne Williamson. So that's 6. At this point, officially, I think Joe Exotic. I mean, I kind of want to vote for him because his last name is Exotic and he's in jail. So it's kind of like a fuck you to everyone. But yeah, so apparently right now there's 6. So there's 3 and 3. What did that comment say?
So yeah, sorry, I'm just taking in what Lucky said because I honestly didn't know this. So Lucky says no because you have to resign in Florida as governor to run for president. Interesting. So
that is correct.
That's a
that
specific
is absolutely
thing in Florida.
correct.
Oh,
Yes.
that's interesting. Okay.
Absolutely.
I did not know
So
that. Thank you
if
for
he
telling me.
resigns and he runs for president, he's out. Like, he doesn't get to say, oh, I lost, I'm coming back. No, he has to resign. That is absolutely correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. So I guess this last topic.
This is okay. First of all,
kind of sad.
Trigger warning, and this one hurt.
Yeah.
This
Especially
is why I have
because
no fucking heroes.
I recently read one of their books, and yeah. So
all my heroes are dead.
All right. So pulling this up. Do you want me to read this little?
Well, you got to pull it up.
I'm pulling it up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So
why don't you show the picture first so people can see the picture and headline and most of you guys who are on Twitter probably saw this. I had to do a triple take. I'm like, I know my blind ass is not seeing what I think I'm seeing. And I looked in other sources because I was just like, holy fuck. Because honestly, sometimes stuff comes out now that you're like, how did we not know about this until now? Everything gets exposed. And I'm very shocked this was not exposed before today or yesterday.
So, CIA's William Burns, Goldman's Catherine Rumler, Noam Chomsky, the president of Bard College, a Kissinger consultant. Holy shit, the president of Bard College. I grew up so close to Bard College. A Kissinger consultant and a Rothschild. They all met with Jeffrey Epstein in the years after his conviction, documents show.
So yes, Noam fucking Chomsky, okay, met with Epstein. And we'll go on to read this part out of the article, which shows it was several times. And his response when reached out for comment is not acceptable.
So,
and he was with Woody Allen too, so
that
not
makes
sus.
it even more sus. So I'm going to read this because it's a little small for anyone to read on the screen. But here it is. When asked about his relationship with Epstein, Chomsky replied in an email. First response is that it is none of your business or anyone's. Second is that I knew him and we met occasionally. In March 2015, Epstein scheduled a gathering with Chomsky and Harvard University professor Martin Nowak and other academics. According to the documents, Chomsky said they had several meetings with Mr. Nowak's research institute to discuss neuroscience and other topics. 2 months later, Epstein planned to fly with Chomsky and his wife to have dinner with them and movie director Allen and his wife, Sumi Previn. Sorry if I mispronounced. Previn. Okay, the documents show there was a flight, which I doubt it would have been from Boston to New York. Oh, man. 30 minutes, Chomsky said. I'm unaware of the principle that requires that I inform you about an evening spent with a great artist. Epstein donated at least $850,000 to MIT between 2002 and 2017, and more than $9.1 million to Harvard from 98 to 2008, the schools have said. Okay. Excellent. All in
So
my
congrats, everyone at Harvard. Your desks are being paid for by Epstein. Your computers are being paid for by Epstein. Like, first of all, Chomsky, let me just say this. Even if you aren't the P word, and I'm going to say P word because YouTube already took away over 3,000 of my fucking subscribers. So even if you aren't the P word, you are the company you keep. And if that man was already convicted and there are millions of rumors for decades, and you still went and hung out with him numerous times, fuck you. Like, you're dead to me. I'm fucking done. You are dead to me. You, first of all, you were like pushing people to vote for Biden last time anyway. And he like went fucking senile or something. I don't know. But like, this is why all my heroes are dead.
And one of the other people on that list, so Leon Botstein, president of Bard College. He, I think, was the youngest president. He became the president of Bard College in like maybe 2021, really young, and was the president for a long time. He might still be. He's on there as well, which is wild because Bard College was literally like just miles away from where I lived. And then, of course, yeah. So, wow.
I mean, others aren't really that surprising, but like, I did not have known Chomsky is friends with Epstein on my bingo card, like ever.
No.
That was not there. And it makes you wonder, like, this has been hidden. Okay, so like, who else is going to be coming out? Because I thought we pretty much knew, like, most of Epstein's people because a lot of them are famous. Most of them are famous. So I can't, it's so weird to me that nobody ever said anything about him until now.
Right. Nah. Wild.
Gross.
So, on that note, I guess we should end on a funny. Drum roll. It's gotta be May.
It's gonna be May. Beyonce. Yes. So, thanks for putting up with me with my iPad. I gotta see if I can get a new fucking keyboard. I hate this shit. Anyway, Andrew, what do you have going on?
Sleeping.
No, sir. No, sir. We're doing something tomorrow night.
We are. Yeah.
Sir. Okay, so tomorrow night is going to be my channel, Savage Joy Marie Man. Please subscribe on YouTube. Like I said, they took away over 3,000 of my subscribers because they are complete assholes. And my rock fan. But we are having Louis from Status Quo on. He's been on the ground in East Palestine for 3 months. And he's there right now, and he'll be sharing some things with us tomorrow that haven't been reported as of yet. So I'm looking forward to that. It seems like we may get a few exclusives. So this is super important. Don't let this story die off. I mean, I did a great East Palestine interview the other day as well with Tammy. Please watch that. I learned so much, and they're being ignored. It's not a sexy topic anymore. Please keep it going. Please keep sharing information about this. Next Monday, we're still waiting for solid confirmation, but I believe Garland Nixon is going to join us next Monday. And next Wednesday, I have a comrade of mine I've known online for many years, who is going to be joining me to talk about his struggle with addiction. And he lives in a place that is like ground zero for opioid addiction. So we'll be talking about that and how, how he has grown from it, how he has moved on, and what he is doing now for self-preservation. I think you guys are really going to love him. He's a remarkable person, and I can't wait to talk to him. Also, I am going to be doing a rally in East Palestine, for M for All, July 22nd. So please definitely attend if you can. If not, we are accepting donations for things like my travel, because I'm in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and can't drive, obviously, because of my blind ass. And so it's for my public transportation, it's for water, it's for supplies. Exactly. So it's for all that fun stuff. So if you can throw a few bucks, that'd be amazing. If you're in or around East Palestine and you do support national Medicare for all, single payer, please reach out to me on Twitter or M4all or M4all.org. Contact us. I want to hear your stories. Actually, even if you can't speak there, I want to hear your stories. If you're disabled, if you have medical debt, if you work in healthcare, I want to hear your stories. So please reach out. And thank you so much for tuning in.
The link to the fundraiser is where?
It's I keep calling it Give Go. Give Send Go. Did Vegan put it in the chat?
Let me see. It's there. It's here.
We're going like ridiculously low key. Like when I say low key, our total right now is $800.
Yeah.
Like we are going like legit organic. The money is really we're doing mutual aid, and things like that. It may go up a little, but we're keeping this shit low key because it's about the people. We don't need fucking jumbotrons and shit. We're making this shit organic and legit.
Yeah.
So thank you guys so much for watching. Join us on my channel tomorrow night, Savage Joy Marie Man. And thanks guys so much. Much love. I love you guys so much.